Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, The Pink Cadillac. Today we are going to review and give you a very fabulous coppery bronze eye look tutorial of the Nude Beach, the Balm Volume 3 Nude Palette. So I already own the Nude Dude palette, and which is just amazing because there is literally just dudes and there's shadows covering their parts. So I'm a huge fan. So I was so excited when they recently released the Nude Beach palette. This was sold out online for about, I think they'd sold out 3 times. I was actually in San Francisco, and they're from San Francisco, so they had a store there, and I thought, why don't I just pop in and see if this palette is available. They had 2 left, and so I eagerly bought it. It was $36. It comes with 12 shades. This guy has girls and guys in the palette, which is really nice. It's a mix of these coppery brown tones, and it also has a bit of pinks and purples, and I love that combo. That is just my go-to. It's so wearable. It's got a little bit of shimmer. There is some matte shades in there too, but it tends to be a lot more shimmery. And as you can tell, this is the great look we created from the palette. This is one I've been gravitating towards so much, and I can't believe this is not getting as much rave reviews as I think it deserves. All the praise, and I think everyone should buy it. I know there's the Urban Decay out there. I know there's a lot more pricier palettes, a lot more popular palettes, you might call it, but I'm a huge fan. I think this brand is just so fun and worthy of all the praise. The blendability, the wearability, just the payoff, the rich payoff that you get from these shadows are incredible. So I'm going to show you the swatches and we'll talk about each one. All right. Okay, so who's ready to swatch? All right, this first, I kind of divided the palette in half. So you'll see we're first going to talk about this side here. So these first 2 shades are pretty neutral. Super natural there. You can barely even tell. It's just the slightest bit of pigment in there. It's a nice base color. I really enjoy that one. Next one is Babe. It has a little bit more peachy tones in it. So I'm just going to swipe that one right there. See, it's a little bit brighter than the other one, but it's really lovely there. Next up, it has a little bit more shimmer in it than the other one as well. Next one up is Buff. This is just the nicest peachy. That one, you see there's a little bit more pigment in that one as well. Now we're going to go into the pinks. So this one is Bright. It's a gorgeous pinky rose purple. So you can see, oh my gosh. Like, how fabulous is that one? I am hooked on this shade. It is everything. Next one is Brainiac. It has a little bit more red in it. So I'm going to just put that one right next to it. A little bit of shimmer in there as well. That one is really lovely. I think these 2 layered together are gorgeous. Next one is a purple, and it's a little bit more matte. So you see that one's just perfect for the crease, great for layering. It could even be a liner. So those are the first half of the palette. Just notice it's just really nice and light. You can really build these up. You can really build the intensity here with this one, line it, put it in the crease. These are just, it's just a nice gradual shade here. These guys are just really lovely for the lid, under the brow. I am obsessed with that. So that is the first half of the palette there. So we just did those few shades. Now we're going to get into more the coppery side. So we'll swatch the other side of the palette, which is more coppery, bronzy. It is gorgeous, and it is what I'm wearing on the lids today. So we are going to, I have this handy dandy brush cleaner, so it just insta clean your brushes. So I'm just brushing those off really quick, and we'll get you we'll do some shading. The brush I used earlier has all those pinks on it, so we'll get that off. Okay, the first one on that palette is Built. So this is what I used on the base of the lid here. So this guy, look at that. just the perfect coppery base here. It is gorgeous. It is just so perfectly golden and it's so shimmery. It's just everything. I love it. So it's a great base. This is a really nice, if you're starting out into the bronzes, you don't want to go too smoky yet, it's a fabulous shade. So Bold is the next one. It's got a little bit more matte pigments to it. So I'm just going to go right here. So you'll see it's not too dark, but it just has a nice, it complements this really nicely. It's got a nice kind of taupey quality to it, which I really love. The next one you'll see it has a little bit more terracotta almost, a little bit more red in the brown. So here it is here. See how that one's just a little bit more pink than the other one? But it's just, I put that right in the crease there. I just love, these are kind of all the rage right now, these kind of reddish terracotta shades. So love that one. The next one is Breathtaking. So this is a deeper copper than the first one we swatched there. See how that one, it's quite a few shades off from that one, but still got that great shimmery copper quality to it. I'm really enjoying layering both Bold and Breathtaking, which just go really natural together. Next one is Bodacious. This one is a deep shimmery. So this has just a true brown shimmer to it. See how that is just so, the way they just gradually get a little bit darker. They've got just such rich tones. They blend so nicely together. And the next one is Brazen. I really appreciate the fact that this palette has some really nice mattes in it that you can use as liners. You can just wet them and they go perfectly together. So this is the matte little brown there. Look at that. I am just literally obsessed with these colors in here. They're so wearable. They're so good for every day. They're great for the summer. As you can tell, I've got this kind of later half of the palette here. This palette is amazing, guys. I just love the whole marketing, the whole formatting around the palette. It's really fun to use. It's fun to look at. So it also comes with a little brush. As you can see here, it's dual-ended. One has a little bit more for a liner and one's a little bit more for the overall shadow application. So you can see there. So I think this is worth 100% worth every penny of your dollar. You can create so many different looks out of this, and you could really amp it up or create more subtle looks as well. It's got all the shades you really need, I think, to go with your whole wardrobe. You've got the rich coppery browns, you've got the pinky purples. They're great for every kind of eye. My eyes are green, so the copper and the pinks go really well with that. But for a brown eye, the purple is going to be really lovely for you. For the blue eye, the copper is going to be really lovely as well. So these guys, the only thing I have to say is you just have to be really careful. There is a lot of, make sure to tap that excess out of your brush, because this tends to give me a little bit more fallout. So the key around that is to do your eyes first and then do the foundation, just to kind of get that off. That's my only criticism. They are more shimmery shadows. Anytime you have that, you are just going to naturally get fallout. But the pigment and the rich shadow payoff are just fabulous here. I love every single color. I think it's so wearable. I hate how some palettes give you some that are completely too dark, just not for everyday use. So for me, this is a huge thumbs up. I think everyone should get this while it's still available. It's at thebalm.com. I'll put links below where you can get it. And stay tuned as I show you my rich coppery look featured here. Thank you. So hair is secured back. We're first going to start out with some foundation. I'm going to use the Even Steven Whipped Foundation. You don't need a lot of this product. It's going to go a long way. Use my little paddle brush here. I'm just going to do about, not even that probably, just the middle, like a small, I'm just going to dot my face here. And we're just going to paddle that out. we're just gonna go all the way around. What I like about this one is it's got some nice coverage. You're gonna get a nice matte look. It turns to powder at the end, so it goes down super creamy, very luxurious. You don't need a lot of concealer. I'm gonna go over the eye as well. I already have a little bit of mascara on, so I'm just going around the eye really lightly, and we're just gonna even out the skin there. Great coverage. This is really nice if you have kind of combination or oily skin. So we're all set with that. Next I'm gonna move on to the eyebrows. So I'm just gonna correct that a little bit here, comb them up. And this is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. We're gonna go across here. Perfect. So there's that. Brows are looking fabulous. All right. Great. And now we are going to take the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is a primer for the lid, just to make sure the eyeshadow stays in place all day. It's really perfect to make sure it doesn't crease. I find that the eyeshadow is a little bit more vibrant as well, which is lovely. And I'm just gonna saw one more thing. I'm gonna fill this in really quick. Looking at the mirror over here. Okay, brushing that out. All right, make sure that looks good underneath. We are going to go in with some blush. I'm gonna take again my Chrissy Teigen Becca palette. We're gonna dust off a little bit of that blush, just the apples of the cheeks there again. And again, apples of the cheeks. And we're swirling, getting a nice little glow there. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go underneath with just a little tiny bit just to adjust the foundation under the eye. This is just a nice little concealer brush here. Perfect, just like that. And then we're gonna do some highlighter. You remember that V right, so right in there, and then a little bit in the eye. Get that highlighter going. Down the nose, a little bit like that. I'm also going to do just a tiny bit of bronzer for this look, just to kind of even out, to buff out the skin. I find my face is very pale, so just add a little bit of bronzer here goes a long way. So I'm just going to go in with this Too Faced chocolate bar. This is Chocolate Soleil right on this side here. Just a little bit. Remember, tap it out, and then we're going to go in a nice 3. So just like so. I love this one because it also has a nice like chocolate smell, which is just fabulous. We're just blending. We're going around in the nice 3. We're going in a nice buffing motion. And I find that just adds a nice color, just pops a little bit. There we go. Adding a little bit to the forehead if needed. That's kind of the main source where the light will hit you. Okay, so we're good there. Face is all looking fabulous. Now that the eyeshadow primer has kind of set a little bit, we're gonna move on to the shadows. So you guys saw all the swatches of the palette here. This is amazing. And you'll see, yeah, I am so excited. So I'm gonna show you more of a coppery look today. I find I got the opportunity to kind of have them do my makeup, the Balm, one day, and while I was in San Francisco. And they combined so many shadows, and they weren't afraid of mixing the shadows, which I am still a novice at. So it super inspired me, and I love how they did that. So we're just gonna go in with this first shadow. Let's go in with Brilliant, this like kind of creamy one here. Let's just kind of go get a nice base for the lid. So we're just gonna go over the lid, go all the way up to the brow bone. As you can see here, we're just going sweeping all over the lid, just like so. This gives it a natural, just even tone to prime it, to kind of get it ready for all the shadows we're going to put on there. All right, so we're looking great there. Perfect. I think next I'm going to go in with this coppery bronzy tone called Built. So this guy, you can just see it on the brush. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be beautiful. I'm just gonna put this on the lid, right up to the crease. Got a little hair there. So you'll see immediately it's giving me such rich copper tones. Such a bronzy, lovely look. So we're gonna do that there. Sweep that kind of a little bit up past the crease. Mostly distributing the product on the lid. So go in again on the other side, tap that excess out. And again, the other lid. Right up to that crease. Awesome. Oh my gosh, look at that bronzy goodness. Okay, I think the next one, I'm gonna go in, let's see. I want to use a little bit more. I'm going to combine these two here. So Breathtaking and Bold, and we're going to create a nice definition in the crease. So just a little bit of tapping on each, just going back and forth on each, tap out the excess, and we're going to distribute right on that crease. So first I'm just pressing it on the lid, just like so. And we're gonna go in on the other side. Press it on there. There we go. Just a nice press of that. I'm going back with any other product if I want to build it up a little bit more. Here we go. That is looking so good. I'll zoom in so you can see that there. See how we're just distributing that product right on the lid there. What we're gonna do now is we're just gonna blend that out a little bit. Remember to blend from the inner portion of the eye out. So we're just circling that around just to kind of get that nice and even. And we'll do the other side here. There we go. It's just, isn't that just beautiful, that copperiness? Oh, so we're just gonna build out the lid a little bit more. So I'll zoom out. We are going to, I'm gonna add in a little bit more of this like nice taupey color. I think that one is just gorgeous. I'm gonna go in with the tapered brush again. It's called Bodacious. And then I'm gonna also lightly tap Brazen. That one's pretty dark. So that guy I'm just gonna add to the outer portion of my crease. Just like so. You can see how that just further defines it. Really just building up that product there. There we go. There we go. So that is looking amazing. I'm gonna really concentrate on blending here. I'm gonna grab a little bit bigger brush just to blend, make sure everything is really nice and beautiful together. It's a good dome. structure, so it kind of lends itself to that natural blending there. Blending that out, making sure it's nice and even. So we've got just this rich coppery eye, which I'm just loving. And normally I do 2 to 3 shadows. You'll see, since I combined a little bit there, I used about 3, so we're kind of creating our own tones there. So we used about these, like this little corner here. And I love that it's set up like that. It really transitions itself from these like pink purples to more of those coppery brown tones. So now what I'm going to do is go in under the brow bone. You always want to make sure, I'm going to use the little brush and nail palette. You always want to make sure to highlight that brow bone and that arch that we have. So I'm just going to go in lightly right under the brow just to define that. And we're going to go in the other side just like so. And then I'm going to go into the little corners of the eye there just to further pop that a little bit, taking it underneath the eye there as well. And we're pulling any product out from under the eye. Fingers are great for that, but this is just such a perfect palette for summer. It's a lot cheaper than the Urban Decay. It's only about $36, so that's huge. Next up is liner. And so I'm going to keep this in the brown tones. This is a kind of a chocolate brown. This is a Paul & Joe liquid eyeliner. And I got this from ModCloth. So this is in a brown tone. This has got a nice fabric felt pen tip. So we are just going to go in with that. I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see that. All right. I love that the brown, it just gives a nice, it's not as dark and heavy as a black liner, but it gives such a nice color, especially when you're using tones like these. Isn't that just fabulous? Oh my gosh. Next I'm just going to curl the lashes. They were a little bit curled, but I just want to amp up that volume there. We're going to add a little bit more mascara just to add a little bit more drama. There we go. And there is the other side. Go. Oh my gosh. And I am going to be adding a little bit of lashes to this. Just at the end. I've taken, these are the Eye Lure. These are out of London, the Naturals Starter Kit. So this is what it looks like on the back. This is the number 20. So this is for light length and fullness. And I really prefer these. I cut these down a little bit. I find that I don't need a full lash. I just need a little bit extra volume at the end. So I'll show you how we do that here. I'm going to take, these are what the lashes look like. So you'll see there, just a little, it's not a lot. So my key to you is to already have the lashes curled. You already have some mascara on there, so it's going to have a little bit to grab onto. You're going to take the little lash glue. You don't need a lot of glue. That's another misconception I think out there. You just need lightly on there. We're going to let it air out for just a second so it gets a little tacky so that you can put it on there a little better. It has a little grip to hold on to. I just use a little bit of tweezers like so, and I'm just going to go into that corner there. And I'm just going to go in, so just like so, and I'm just going to go in to that corner there. I'm going to just wiggle with it. You can also, sometimes feel like you just need to flip the lash a little bit more towards you and then squeeze it in a little. So that's what that looks like there. I just find these are just so natural looking. There we go. And it just adds that little bit of drama. So now for the other side. All right. So there we go. We're just gonna go right in that lash line like so, pulling it up towards the lash. Sometimes you go in as well and just pinch it at the bottom. Just make sure it's really on there. Just like so. Perfect. All right, so that's what those look like there. Let that glue. We are going to go in with the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara, get those bottom lashes nice and defined. All right, now we're going to go in and just add another coat of mascara just to even out those lashes. Just like so. Perfect. And I think with this look, we're going to do kind of a simple, then since we did so much drama on the eyes, I'm going to keep the lips pretty simple here. So I'm going to go in with a shade called Ex-Girlfriend from this one right here. You see it's kind of like a brownish tone, but it has a little bit of pink to it, which I think will be perfect. Just like so. Sometimes the product gets in the kind of the Cupid's bow there. There we go. You don't need a lot. Just a little bit to define the look there. And there we are. This gorgeous coppery look brought to you by the Nude Dude. I love it. Thank you so much for watching this Balm tutorial and review, and stay fabulous. Bye!